What is good, everyone? Ashkeebs here. Today we have a new board from Wind Studios, the Wind SIN65. Yes, that's Sin from math. This is a math-inspired keyboard, automatic 0 out of 10. Just kidding, but math was actually one of my worst subjects in school, which says a lot because I worked in finance. Do not trust me with your money, you know how empty my bank account is. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe though, because your boy definitely needs the ad revenue, not for food or essentials, but to pull for Honkai characters. No, I do not have a problem. Anyways, a bit more detail on the board itself. This is a custom 65% keyboard featuring some unique design choices, allowing for both top mount or PCB gasket mount, meaning that it can be plateless, which is very nice. You already know how I feel about plateless boards. So starting with the layout, it's pretty interesting. It's not a exploded layout or anything, but rather the one weird thing about this board is that the escape key is actually separated from the main alphas. I honestly don't know how I feel about this. They wrote that this was done so it reduces the risk of accidentally touching the escape key when typing, but honestly, if you're hitting the escape when you're typing, that just seems like a major skill issue. But besides that, the board from the top down has this chunky look with some uneven thick bezels with some very drastic cuts. The side profile is also very unique, and the back of the board, let me do this real quick. Wait, hold up, I'll do the ASMR. But the back of the board features this PVD steel, stainless steel weight with a unique sort of ripple effect going on. I think that they said this is the Sin X formula graph, but honestly I'm not smart enough to know that. But yeah, overall this is a very cool looking weight, and the overall board looks very cool. So the board comes with this foam pack, but we won't be using that. Yeet. So taking a look at the PCB of the board. The PCB of the board will be 1.6 millimeters with no flex cuts, which makes it good for plateless, and will feature a wired hot swap, Bluetooth hot swap, and a wired soldered version. As for the mounting, looking at this plate, the top mount will be compatible with the plates, which will be either alu or PC. And for the PCB gasket mount, you put it right here. It will allow for both plateless or plate usage. The board will be available from September 19th, 2023 until October 19th, 2023 in these different colorways for a starting price of $288. And the build we're going for today will be with Cherry MX Blacks like usual for testing. Welcome to another episode of Ashkeebs Talks without a fucking script. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. It's been a minute since my last segment. I've been pretty busy with school and just in general. I was in Japan for like a month and a half. Came back, had to move, and school just started. Man, back to school, back to doing homework. I can't be a degenerate anymore, but it's good to have a bit of a schedule. I feel like I'm an actual human being. But yeah, the build for this was pretty simple. We're going with top mount first, but we'll also do a test for the plateless afterwards. And yeah, hope you guys are doing well. Okay, so here is how the board looks fully built. Honestly, I don't hate how the escape is escaping from the alphas. I deserve to be bullied. But in all honesty, the board definitely has a very unique look to it. I built it with GMK 9009 to match the off-white beige color, and I think it looks great. I wasn't too sure how the board would look before I built it, but with the keycaps on it, I definitely sort of get what they're going for. It definitely won't match a lot of people's taste. It's not for everyone. But yeah, in my opinion, the build is looking pretty good. See the weight in the back? It's ruined now. But for the first sound test, I'll be testing with the PC plate top mounted, then I'm gonna have to rebuild, and I'll give you guys a plateless sound test afterwards. Okay, so what do I think of the board? It is a pretty good right out the bat. The board is a pretty deep sounding board, and even without foam there isn't any sort of hollowness at all. It is quite dense. I definitely enjoy the plateless configuration way more than the top mount. I think the top mount isn't bad per se. I had to get rid of the side mounting points during the test because honest to god, it was stiff as a brick even with the PC plate with the side mounting points screwed on. If you like a super stiff experience though, you can always leave it on. It's just preference. For the overall typing experience, typing feel and sound of the top mount with the side mounting points not screwed in, it is pretty good. It sounds and feels like a classic top mount with the louder sound profile, and if you're a fan of top mount, you'll most likely enjoy this. Now, moving on to the plateless build. In the plateless configuration, I think this board really shines. First of all, I got sent the hot swap PCB, but the sockets do seem tight enough for it to be completely fine if you want to use it for the plateless build. There's no wiggle at all. As for the sound and feel, the sound is the classic plateless sound, but a bit deeper. There is the signature sort of poppiness, I guess, but with the isolation gasket sandwich, which for this board is a pretty tight compression with quite a number of mounting points, I found the sound to be slightly on the muted and deeper side of plateless boards. Additionally, there is quite a lot of flex, but not too much bounce. What I mean by this is that when typing, there isn't a lot of vibrations on the fingertips. The overall bottom out is still pretty soft. So if you're someone that finds vibrations annoying but still want a soft bottom out, this board does just that. Overall, this board is quite solid. It allows for two different mounting styles that each does its respective part in changing how the board sounds and feels, and honestly, it sounds and feels pretty nice. The board is on the pricier side for the market nowadays. It's crazy. Sub 300 is on the pricier side. Damn, you guys are living in a good timeline, but The board is on the pricier side, but I think the build quality is definitely superb and there aren't many flaws that I can note. Actually, there really aren't any flaws. If you're looking for a unique looking 65%, because this definitely is one, and enjoy top and plateless builds, this board could be a good option. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out, this is not an anime this time, it's actually the One Piece live action. I just watched it. It's actually really good. I'm a huge One Piece fan. I was afraid that they were gonna butcher it, but with Oda involved, this is actually a good anime adaptation. That's crazy, but you guys should check it out. Definitely recommend it.